Once again, greetings, blessed love, royal welcome to my channel. This is I Am Life and Light Productions, and I, Just Sparks, I am your host. Today is class 10 of I School of Thought. Yes, this is I School of Lesson 10. Lesson 10 of the Master Key System, in which we are learning self-mastery. We're learning to have dominion over our mind space. Right? Seeking first the kingdom of heaven, so that all shall be added to us. You see it. Yeah, man. Mighty heart of Sabbath remembrance to each and every eye holding their Sabbath today. Do remembering that the Sabbath is a state of mind, a state where all your desires are fulfilled, and you're dwelling there. We do give thanks. Yeah, man. Royal welcome to all those that are new. Yeah, man. And blessed love to all those that have been here before. We do give thanks royally in here before. We do give thanks royally. Yes, I pray each and every eye strong was up full and bright, and everyone is living in the light of the mind. I pray that last strong's lesson was taken with diligence, and the eyes them is advancing in the using of your human imagination, the activation of your pineal gland, so we do give thanks once again. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful day here in Ghana. The sun, it's partly cloudy, the sun is in and out, but the weather is nice, the breeze is, pretty cool and nice, we do give thanks. Blessings to each and every eye. Once again, I always check to see if there is anyone commenting, but I don't see any comments, so blessings to each and every eye that is out there in the invisible. Yeah, we do give thanks to the eye them presence, so yeah, I wouldn't even wait too long, because I come on a little bit late, yeah, but everything is in its time, so we do give thanks, Yes, and I want to say to the eyes them in remembrance, there is nothing to worry about, in life. Nothing at all to worry about, to place your mind on in worry. It's better to just give thanks and be happy. Give thanks for whatever you're desiring, whatever you're having. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks. Because it's no sense worrying. Because worry just bring more worrying. So know that there is another way, there is another option, there is another choice. You can choose not to worry. So blessed. Yeah, man, IRS, we do give thanks to the eye. Yeah, man, royally, we do give thanks to the eye presence. Yeah. So, yeah, man, no sense worrying. Better we just rejoice and be happy for just being. Just waking up in the morning, just rising up is all we need to be extremely happy and joyful throughout the day. We don't need any possession. We don't need any money, material things. We don't really need anybody in its sense. Just from rising up and having life is all the, all it takes for us to be extremely happy. All the purpose. Because a man could be given $10 billion today, and say, well, you'll get $10 billion today, but you can't wake up tomorrow, and I know each and every eye will choose to wake up tomorrow over that $10 billion, and having $10 billion now in one's possession will make you want to rejoice and jump for joy and call down your family, call every blinking buddy you know. The ones them that have been good to you, and you'll go out and want to buy down the world with that $10 billion, but with no life, it have no purpose. So life is before the money. So wake up in the morning and call on everybody and give thanks and rejoice for just being, because that's what it is. Becoming the person of your desire, becoming that being. Because if it would take $10 billion for you to call everyone you know and rejoice with them, then you should be rejoicing with them without that. Unless it's the money that is making you. And we know that is not true. It's we make the money, So we do give thanks once again, Yeah, man. Oderi. We do give thanks. Much blessings to the I royally. Blessings to the Ice them royal family. We do give thanks. May peace, love, health, and wealth fill the Ice them household eternally, because it is the gift of life. It is the gift of the Most High that we all dwell in abundance, that our words all be fruitful and multiplied. So whatever we're speaking out of our mouth is fruitful and multiplied. It do not return void. It return fruitful and multiplied, having more of itself with it. Yes, right? So we must practice to keep this mind space in order. Yes, right? And remember that at every given moment, we have a choice. And that choice that we have, that we take, chooses our next experience, chooses our next step for us through the choices that we're taking. We could choose to be happy, we could choose to be sad, we could choose to be abundant, we could choose to be in poverty. It's all a choice, and it's all train of thoughts. Yes, right? So we do give thanks once again. Again, this is class 10 of High School of Thought, lesson 10 of the Master Key System. And this is also on visualizing, so I'll get right into it. This strong's lesson, what we're supposed to be exercising for this strong. All right. We're going to select a blank space on the wall or any other convenient spot from where we usually sit. So where we usually sit, we're going to look at the wall, look at the whatever, the dresser, whatever it may be. We're going to pick an ideal spot on it, and then we're going to mentally draw a black horizontal line as plainly as though it were painted on the wall. So we're going to imagine drawing a line on the wall and draw it as plainly as we can, seeing it as if it were painted on the wall. Okay? Then we're going to mentally draw two horizontal lines connecting with two vertical lines, excuse me. We're going to draw two vertical lines connecting with this horizontal line at either end. Now, after doing that, we're going to draw another horizontal line connecting the two vertical lines. Now, we have a square, a black square that we have mentally drawn on the wall. All right? Say, can you do this? If so, draw a circle within the square. Now place a point in the center of the circle. All right, so you draw the square, then you draw a circle inside of the square, and then you put in a point in the center of the circle, all mentally, right, while looking at the wall. Okay? Then you're going to draw the point of that point coming towards you about 10 inches. So you're going to pull out the point 10 inches from the wall. Yes, right? Now you have a cone that is on a square base. You will remember that your work was all in black. So now you're going to change it to white. So change the cone with the square base from black to white. Then you change it to red. You change it to yellow. Said if you can do this, you are making excellent progress and will soon be enabled to concentrate on any problem you may have in mind. You know, so these exercises is teaching us to concentrate. That by focusing on one thought, one particular thing, we can set in motion the outer effects of it in the universe. But it takes concentration, it takes deep focus. You know, so by doing these exercises and doing it daily, we're training our mind to be habitual in concentration, in focusing. You see it? For everything is concentrated. All that we see in the universe, all that we see before us, all that is in our house, the table, the TV, the dresser, the beds, the sheets, the clothes, the food, everything is concentrated thought that brought it into manifestation. You see it? And not just loose thinking. Loose thinking will carry you nowhere, you know, because there is not enough polarity given to it for it to make form. You see? So we are learning to increase our polarity through concentration. You see? We do give thanks. All right. So now we will go through the 10 question and answer for lesson 10 of the Master Key System. All right. Question 1. What is wealth? Okay, I hear everybody saying they want to be wealthy. I want to have wealth. I want to have generational wealth. You know, what is wealth? Okay, answer. Wealth is the offspring of power. Okay, so all wealth that you see is the offspring of power, the child of power. Okay. So wealth comes from being powerful. Okay. Question 2. Of what value is possessions? The things them that we're desiring in life, the possessions them that we desire. Of what value are they? Okay. Answer. Possession are of value only as they confer power. You see it? So the possessions that you have, if they're conferring power, then they're of value. If they are not conferring power, then they are of no value. You see it? Okay. Question 3. Of what value is a knowledge of cause and effects? Okay. Of what value is the knowledge of cause and effect? Answer. It enables men to plan courageously and execute fearlessly. Okay? So the value of a knowledge of cause and effects causes I and I to plan courageously and execute fearlessly. Okay? Because you will understand through cause and effect that cause is your thoughts and effect is your experience. And when you understand that properly, you will be able to generate the right experience by holding the right causes, which is thoughts in your mind. Okay? Blessed. Who is this here? Picado. Academico. We do give thanks to the High Royal presence with us. Royal blessings to the I and the I Royal family, you know? Yeah, we're going through question and answer. All right. Question 4. How does life originate in the inorganic world? Right? So how does life originate in inorganic world? We're in the organic world. So how does life originate in the inorganic world or the invisible world? All right? Answer: only by the introduction. There is no other way. So in other words, for life to originate in the inorganic, in the invisible world, it has to come from life. Is that? So in other words, it has to come from your thoughts. For your thoughts are life. And life originates through thoughts. Is that? That's the inorganic world. All right. Question 5. What is the connection? What is the connecting link between the finite and the infinite? Answer: thought is the connecting link. You see it? Question 6. Why is this so? Answer: because the universe can manifest only through the individual. Yes, right? So this vast universe can only manifest and bring forth things through I and I. It cannot do it of itself. That is why a knowledge of cause and effect is so important. Realizing that we are consciousness. We are the consciousness that permeates throughout all creation. And it's this consciousness that is causing the universe to take form. And without this consciousness, which is I and I, the universe cannot take form. So we are the center of the universe. We are the center of all that we're seeing. We are all that is. Is that? Okay. Okay. Question 7. Upon what does causation depends? Okay. Answer: upon polarity. Okay. A circuit must be formed. The universe is the positive side of the battery and of the battery of life. The individual is the negative side of the battery of life. And thoughts form the circuit. You see it? So by us thinking, we're forming the circuit of cause and effect, the circuit of creation, bringing into creation that which we're thinking. See it? Simple and easy, you know? Question 8. Why do many fail to secure harmonious conditions? So why do many people in the world fail to secure a life of peace and tranquility and harmony and joy and splendor? Hmm? Why are we failing to do so? The answer: they do not understand the law. There is no polarity. They have not formed the circuit. You see it? So the reason why people are not living harmonious life, blessed lives, is because they do not understand the law of creation. They do not know about the 7 laws of the universe and how it operates. Yes, right? And because of that, they're not using their thoughts in a way to create polarity in the universe, to bring forth what they're desiring into manifestation. They think very little and very weakly of their desired state, of who they really desire to be. They think very weakly and little about it, and think very strongly and a lot about their situation of which they do not desire, the things that they don't like, all the negatives that seems to be surrounding them in their world. They're thinking of these things more and more and more than their desired peace, their desired end, the person they truly desire to be and the experience they truly desire to experience. They're thinking very, very little of it. And that's why they're failing. Is right? Because the more you think of something is the more you are bringing it into manifestation. The less you think about it, the less it just disappears and it becomes null and void. So, question 9. What is the remedy to failure? The remedy to failure is success, is victory. Yes, right? So what is the victory? How do we achieve victory in life? And overcome the failures that we're facing? The answer: a conscious recognition of the law of attraction with the intention of bringing it into existence for a definite purpose. You see it? I will repeat the question and the answer. Question 9, what is the remedy to escape failure, to overcome failure? The answer is a conscious recognition, meaning a recognition that is consciously in your mind. You are aware of it. A conscious recognition of the law of attraction. Understanding how this law works. You see it? With the intention of bringing it into existence for a definite purpose. You see? So now, in other words, we're thinking with intent. Thinking with a specific intention at hand. We have a specific goal at the end of the thoughts that we're thinking, that we're holding in our mind space. And the goal at the end of holding the thoughts in the mind space is that it must materialize into our material world. You know what I'm saying? So when we're thinking now, we have to start to shift our focus to that. That the things that we are thinking about is what we are manifesting into our reality. And question 10 of High School of Thought, lesson 10 of the Master Key System, is what will be the result of having a conscious recognition of the law of attraction? The answer: your thoughts, the thoughts that we think, will correlate with the object in the universe and bring it into manifestation. Because thought is a product of the spiritual man. Right? And spirit is the creative principle of the universe. I will repeat it again. Question 10 with its answer. What will be the result? The result of what? The result of having a conscious recognition of the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. Thought will correlate with its object and bring it into manifestation, because thought is a product of the spiritual man, and spirit is the creative principle of the universe. You see it? So everything is coming from the spiritual man, not the physical man, but the man that dwelleth within. You see it? The inner man. See it? The man that sitteth on high. Yeah, the man that ascended his hill and stand in his holy place and sit on his throne of glory, his throne of absolute power and absolute authority. And on that throne, all things are made possible to him. So in other words, you ascend in thought, in mind, in consciousness, to the plane where you are seeing all things as possible to you. And there is nothing in creation that you cannot experience. And by having that train of thought, you start to shift reality. You break down timelines and you cause your reality, the things them that you're thinking, to come into manifestation. You see, so we do give thanks for class 10 of High School of Thought, lesson 10 of the Master Key System. And as always, I will go over last Strong's lesson, which is lesson 9 of the Master Key System, which was also on visualization, So to the ones them who missed it or who cannot find the video on YouTube, I will go over it for the eyes them, and I do give thanks once again for all the eyes them that is here with I on this blessed Sabbath remembrance, of our sabbatical state of mind that we must be present in at all times, and being present in our sabbatical state of mind, it is very, purposeful. It keeps us centered. It keeps you free from stress and strain and worry and all the problems of the world, because you're dwelling in a place where all your desires are met and you're living in a place where the life that you actually desire is already happening now and you're living it, So it's for us to practice to be there constantly, be there always, and that is more or less entering into the kingdom of heaven and entering out no more. We cannot be to and fro. To and fro is what they call Satan. Back and forth, in and out of the kingdom. Because that's, as it's written in Job, when Job went unto the Father, Satan came also. And the Father asked Satan, where have you been? Say, I've been to and fro in the earth. Up and down, to and fro in the earth. And we cannot be to and fro in the earth. As if we're to and fro in the earth, we'll end up in destruction, we'll end up in confusion, we will end up in problems. Because we will get caught up with the material sense of things. and we will be caught up in the effects of our causes. Yes, right? So we have to learn to situate ourselves in our place of causation, in our mind, in our human imagination, and dwell there and let there be our only reality. Yes, right? And that is the only way we can shift timelines and enter into our desired experiences. You know, so yeah. Lesson 9 of High School of Thought, yes, right? Which is Last Strong's lesson. We were to visualize a plant. Take a flower, the one you most admire, you know? And again, you're doing it because, you know, you get to the one you most admire because it's the easiest for you to imagine. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to bring it from unseen or invisible into the seen or visible. You're going to plant a tiny seed of it. Water it, care for it. Place it where it will get direct rays of the morning sun. You will see the seed burst. It is now a living thing, a living organism, that something which is alive and searching for the means of its substance. You know, you will see the whole process perfectly complete. You're going to see the fruit or the flower. Now, if you concentrate intently enough, you will become conscious of a fragrance. It is the fragrance of the flower as it blows in the breeze, gently swaying the beautiful creation that you have created in your mind. Yes, right? So if you concentrate deeply enough, you know, tell legal stuff. All right. It says, when you are able to make your visualizations clear and complete, you will be able to enter into the spirit of the thing. It will become very real to you. You know? So this is why we're learning to concentrate. We're learning to focus. So that when we visualize, we can make it very real in there. And the visualization, our imagination, will become very real to us. And that is what we want to do. We want to get the visualization, the imagination as real as possible so that it can be taken by our subconscious as true. Aside, because our subconscious is the powerhouse. That is the organ that is actually emitting the frequencies that the universe is taking from us and creating form, which is our experiences. Now, if you remember in past lessons, what is the organ of the subconscious? The organ of the subconscious is your solar plexus. Your solar plexus, which is the seat of memory. Yes, right? So, from your seat of memory is where the universe is getting its messages from, its frequency from. Your frequency is being emitted from, so that your experiences them can come into play. You know? So, question 1 of lesson 9. What is the imperative condition of all well-being? The answer, well-doing. Question 2. What is the condition precedent to every right action? Answer, right thinking. Question 3. What is the underlying condition necessary in every business transaction or social relation? Answer: to know the truth. Question 4. What is the result of a knowledge of the truth? Answer: you can readily foretell the result of any action that is based upon a true premise. Yes, right? So anything that you're going forward with to do that is based on a true premise, you could readily foresee the result of it. Question 5. What is the result of any action based upon a false premise? Answer: we can form no conception of the result which may ensue. Meaning, any action that is based on a false premise, you cannot see the outcome. You're not sure of the outcome. You know, the outcome is faulty and shifty and you're doubtful about it. You know, but anything that is upon a true premise, you're certain, you're confident. You know, so whatever you're starting out to, whatever actions that you're going forward to do, make sure it is upon a true premise. You're confident and certain of the outcome that is going to come, and it shall come so. You know, remember, it's your thoughts that is creating your reality. So however you're thinking about that situation is what the outcome of it is going to be. You know, and this is something that we really got to pay close attention to and become perfectly aware and conscious of. That however we're thinking of it is how it's going to be. Yes, right? You're faulty with the outcome is going to come faulty. You're certain and confident that you're going to receive this amount. Yes, you will receive that and probably even more because of your confidence, because of your certainty. You see it, you know? So, question 6. How may we know the truth? All right. Answer: by a realization of the fact that truth is the vital principle of the universe, and therefore it is omnipresent. You know, so truth, in other words, is that vital principle that gives life to everything in creation. It's truth. You know, some call it love. That's right. But truth is that vital principle, that essence, that spark that generates life in life. You see it? And that is truth. And to know that that essence, that spark is I and I, embedded in I and I. You see it? And it's activated through our certainty and our confidence in a thing. You see it? Question 7. What is the nature of truth? Answer: it is spiritual. Yeah, so the essence that creates all things is spiritual. You see? Question 8. What is the secret of the solution to every problem? The secret of the solution to every problem, the answer: to apply spiritual truth. You see? Now, question 9. What is the advantage of spiritual methods to solve your problems? Answer: always available. Just like they say, the Most High is a very present help in time of trouble. He's always available. You see? So the truth principle is always available. That word of certainty, that word of confidence, when you speak it over your life, that is what it is. It is done. So that is what we want to obtain. We want to obtain the power of becoming The Father and the Son being one with Father and Son. I and my Father are one. You're becoming one with your word. It's right, so that when you speak your word with certainty, it manifests. It's right? So, question 10. What are the necessary requirements, it's right, of the spiritual methods, of using spiritual methods? What you need to be what? Going to church all the time? Do you need to be baptized? Do you need to have your hair cut? Do you need to wear a certain type of clothes? What is your requirement to using spiritual methods to solve your problems? Okay, answer. A recognition of the omnipotence of spiritual power and a desire to become the reciprocant of its beneficial effects. So that is all that is required. Recognizing that the spiritual power that you're seeking is omnipresent and it's omnipotent. It's everywhere and in everything. You see? And to have a desire now for that power to be expressed through you, for you to be the beneficent of that power. You see? So we do give thanks once again for the eyes them joining in with I this Sabbath, of class 10 of High School of Thought, where, I see that this is most needed above all things in creation, where we teach ones and ones the power of thought and the necessity in right thinking, and again, when you come to the realization of this truth, you would realize that there is nothing outside of you that can harm you, that can mislead you, misguide you, bring you any sort of problems or anything. You will come to the understand that all things that are happening in your life is because of you, because of the way that you are thinking. Why things are happening to you that way. Yes, see the grasshopper there? Yeah, lovely grasshopper. Come, let me see if I could show it. Come now. Let me hold you. You jump away. Yeah. I have some nice looking grasshoppers here. The designs are, beautiful. So we do give thanks again for the eyes them joining in, Your blessings to the eyes them once again. IRS, most blessed, joy of welcome to the eye, Odari, Odari, D-I-R-I, Odiri, yes. I want to touch it. And academico, we do give thanks for the eyes them, showing the eyes them presence with I. And to all the eyes them that are in the unseen, we do give thanks to the eyes them, royal welcome, Yeah, man, and fullness of joy going through this strong, take the eye them lessons them to heart, practice them daily, because it's for the eyes them own advancement. And it's only the eyes them that is going to benefit from the eye them inner work. It's right? And when the eye them do the inner work and get perfect in it, you don't need any outer help. You don't need to call on anyone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You are all there is. And apart from you, there is none. Consciousness, that is. Yes, right? So until such time, fullness of joy for the strong ahead. We do give thanks to each and every eye. Blessed royal heart of Sabbath remembrance. Continue in the way of your state fulfilled. And remember that the road is a road of patience. A road of persistence. A road of virtue. a road of humbleness, you know, a road of forgiveness, a road of mercy, a road of peace. You see it? For it say, mark the perfect man and behold the upright. Eh? The end of that man's road is peace. So the perfect and the upright man always seek peace. He do not seek war. He do not seek confusion. He do not seek disruption. So he will not try to disturb the peace of another. He will allow the other to live their life as they please. You see it? So keep it in remembrance, judge not, lest you be judged. For whatever judgment you give is coming from you, and it shall be to you. It's not to anyone else, only to self. Give thanks. All right, so blessed and give thanks once again, you know. And I will see the eyes them on the strong for class 11 of High School of Thought, lesson 11 of the Master Key System. Fullness of joy to the eyes them and the eyes them family. Yeah, may the household be full of joy and splendor. Remembering that it's about putting off mourning, you know, and girding yourself with gladness. You know what I'm saying? Putting off, you know, your sackcloth and girding yourself with dancing, to be rejoicing, to be happy all the time, because when you're in the state of happiness, you bring more happy experiences. You see it? More things for you to be happy about. So remain happy and joyful, and let nothing of this world hold you down in sorrow, hold you down, you know, in fear and in frustration and all these such things, because those things are but illusions, and it's only brought upon you by you. You see it? So until such times, we do give thanks. Yes, I arise. I give thanks for the eye. I give thanks to the blessings received, my Lord. For word is all there is, my Lord. You see it? Yeah. Word is all there is. And our word sound is the power of creation. Yes, right? So we must use our word wisely. For out of our mouth is the issues of life and death. You see it? So give thanks once again, IRS, and the rest of eyes them joining in with I until such time. Blessed love.